So understand, no matter where you start, it starts with you making the steps and doing the right actions every single day to hit these goals. But first, you have to have goals, which is just the one more. It's the one more thing that you do. You set goals, add one more. Add one more to that daily goal. Don't finish the day without getting after the goals and doing one more. Bishop Jakes talks about velvet glove, iron fist. As a leader, you have to have both. You have to be both, because having a velvet glove at every step of the turn as a leader, and every single one of you should be counting yourselves as leaders. If you're going to coach and guide someone, you can't do it with always a velvet glove, because you can't help them past themselves if you don't have an iron fist at sometimes. And I don't mean hitting them. I just mean giving them what it is that's going to take that foot, that their next step in their life to get over that.
And 10 minutes into the presentation, I mean, literally 10 minutes in, I said, this is what I want to do. This is it. This is what I want to do. I saw the big picture. Now, I had no experience with multi-level marketing. I had no experience with sales, no business experience. And so my assumption, and I'm an idealist versus being a realist. So without even questioning anything, I assumed the company was on solid financial footing. I assumed that the owners were great guys. I made all these different assumptions. And how lucky, because if it had been the same presentation, but it had been Amway, I would have been in. It would have been Herbalife. I would have been in. Jeunesse. I would have been in, because I'd never seen multi-level. But how lucky did I get that it was actually a great company with wonderful owners? The whole range is open to you. There's one of three options. Option number one, you can go to countries, get in the trenches, work, have fun, do all that. And actually you can move there. Number two, you go back and forth. So you have the best of both worlds. You can do all the exploring and the fun, adventure, support the team, and you could also be living at home and and just having your home base wherever it is. Option number three is never going to those countries that you open. Just doing it by Zoom and finding 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 people on your team that want to go and open up those countries.
So I tell people all the time, if you treat your business, you treat yourself the same way, and be patient and understand that not every season things are going to be great. Not every season you're going to be in momentum. But if you just stay the route, if you just continue to just keep pushing and keep going, guess what happens in your life? Your business starts to bloom. Your life starts to bloom. If your environment doesn't inspire you, change it. Otherwise, you will become your environment. And I tell people this a lot of times, that if you don't change the people that you hang around, if you don't change the places that you hang around, if you don't just change the things that you don't want in your life, things are not going to change. Things are going to continue to stay the same. And if you celebrate Friday too much, it might be a sign that you need to change what you're doing Monday through Thursday. Making a big life change is pretty scary. And I know how hard it is. I know it's hard. One of the hardest things in life is change. But what's even scarier is regret. You don't want to be that person that's 80, 70, 65 years old and living life of regret, saying to yourself, man, I wish I would have started that business. Man, I wish I would have went after that goal. Man, I wish I would have bought that house. I wish I would have took that trip. I wish you would have did all of these things. So now you're living a life of regret. And one thing I learned is that regret weighs more than a ton. You don't want to be the person that gets to the end of your life and just look back and regret all of the things that you wish that you would have done. Instead, just do it now. Why not go out there and do it now? Listen, I don't care if you're 60, I don't care if you're 18. You can make a decision today that can change your life for the rest of your life, but it's going to start with you. If nothing changes, then guess what? Nothing changes. Some people look at life like this. They look at life this way, right? Is the glass half full or the glass half empty? But what they forgot was that the glass is refillable. You can always pour it back into the glass. So with life, people look at life the same way. You might be thinking about your life right now. Your life might not be where it's supposed to be. But do you understand that you have the power to pour into yourself more to get a better life? Because the glass is refillable. And it's the same way with your life. Every single day that you get a new day in order to go out there and live this life, it's a new day to make a decision in the right direction to get where you're trying to go.
One of the things that I'll say to you, and what I've said is, if you hang around here long enough, you're just going to find people that you don't just do business with, but you kind of do life with. We need to be in the performance business. And I don't mean performing as in acting. I mean, we need to perform our business, acquiring customers, getting team members, getting them to the events, whether that's on Zoom or in person. I want you guys to give yourselves permission to compete. I want you to compete. I want you to become competitive. I want that for you, right? When you make a decision to compete and you throw your hat in the ring and now you are forced to do what you said you were going to do, that is going to lead to action. And if action is taken consistently enough, that's going to lead to results. You guys need to accept and embrace and love the fact that you are now in the evidence business. You need to be evidence of the system and the company working, the comp plan working.
Quit passing on negative thinking to your mind. Your mind is an incubator. Whatever you feed it, it multiplies. 95% of the population spends its time specializing in things that doesn't need to lead to wealth or happiness. 95% of the population takes its time and specializes in things that doesn't lead to wealth nor happiness. I was a young puppy coming up. My dad would get under the car and work on the hood and work on his car back in the day. You could do that. And I never forget, he passes, give me the wrench, give me the pliers. I'm under the hood with him, and my hands got dirty with oil and junk, and I skunk. And I'm like, oh my God. I looked at him like, I don't ever want to go through this again. I don't ever want to have a job. I got to use this. And I made a decision, probably at 12 years old, to use this instead of this.